Whatever gives you competitive advantage over others can be monetized. Yeah. There is a price for whatever you want. And many of our people are not ready to pay the price.
So I also find that people can come to my house and sit down for 2 hours and getting knowledge in some, and they end up not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Because there's no price that was paid to it.
You're a millionaire, you have all the money. It's not just about money. Do you know that knowledge is superior to money? Knowledge will bring money. Money will bring knowledge if only you apply it correctly.
What, in your own opinion, in the UK wise, which I think is applicable to America or where some Western countries or anywhere, would you say is a low-hanging strategy that families can begin to invest into and hoping to build wealth for the next generation, please?
Now, I think
Hello everyone, welcome to the Love Family Podcast, and I'm your host Onyekwelu. Today we have another exciting episode, and we trust that what you're going to learn today would be of immense relevance to you and your family. So here we try to record content that will that we hope will help to keep families knitted together forever. So and today we have an amazing guest that we're so excited about. Would allow him to introduce himself, but I call him Bayo. People call him different other names, but he's a man that I know that he's a man of pedigree, and I trust that his experience will be a blessing to each and every one of us. So without taking much of our time, I would like to introduce Bayo in the studio. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it was. You're a very, very busy man. Getting you here was a big challenge, but I'm so glad you're here.
We thank God for everything.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you
pleasure.
for coming. So just to take you further, like we hope to discuss, like I mentioned to you, transgenerational wealth through property. Okay. But before we go ahead, I would like to ask you, say, what would you class as your most cherished memories growing up?
Oh, so many.
I know there's so many, but one, like a striking one that you know that will be of blessing to people are going to learn from you.
One of the key things is focus. And even looking back, we didn't see it as focus that time. But we realized that is what focus is all about. Where we have a direction, it's more about academics those days. Where we have a direction where we say we must bring the best out of each other. So we are a group of friends and we challenge each other academically. You know, those days they give prizes per subject. So we go among ourselves and say, no, I'm going to take that. You will take that. No, you cannot. Everybody go back home and start reading. So we were a bit competitive, but focused competition.
Oh, wow.
And it was so positive that all of us, of course, came out with flying colors. But the main thing that we didn't recognize is our focus, but we were adding value to each other without knowing, motivating each other.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I've picked something already from that short stuff you shared. Before, just to take it further, what would, say you wanted to advise yourself then, just a quick tip, what would you have done differently or so? What advice would you give to yourself then, back then? One advice or so.
Because it's a completely different setting to the days of today, a completely different setting. And I think one advice I would give to myself is enjoy the season of your times. And I think we enjoyed it. So bringing it to the current days, enjoy the season of your time and take full advantage of available opportunities. Yeah. Don't be too focused not to live life. Don't just be too dogmatic and just straightforward. Let life fill you and make sure that you don't do things that you go back and say, I regret not doing that. And I'm not saying negative things, positive things. Make sure you touch life and let it touch you.
That's good. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate what you just shared so far. So I'd like to ask, can you tell us more about yourself? Because I'm sure people are itching to know who Bayo is, where did he come from, anything that you feel comfortable to want to share with us briefly.
Yeah, that's easy. My name is Bayo Arowolo.
Okay.
By my training background, I'm a chartered accountant, more of banking background, and I'm married with children.
Oh, that's good.
I'm also a Christian. I'm privileged as a pastor. And I find myself in property one way or the other. So that's where I am.
Okay.
In a nutshell.
That's good. Thank you, sir. So what was your back? You mentioned the accountant, but how did you get into property, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's a normal thing that once you are able to afford it, the first thing is to get a house where you can live rather than rent.
You said it's a normal thing, but a lot of people have lived in rented properties for a very long time.
I agree with you because they say it's as simple as ABC if you know the ABC. So I may think it's normal, but it may not be normal. So if somebody have the capacity rather than continue to pay rent over time, 20 years, if you are able to put something together, do a deposit, and you can do. And that is one of the things I'm going to mention. Maybe it's premature now. About knowledge.
Okay.
Knowledge makes all the difference. It just makes all the difference. Success and failure in life is hinged on knowledge. You are limited by what you don't know. And what you don't know is superior to you. The day you know it is the day you move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for this. So just to be a bit more practical, so can you give us a little bit of your, maybe would I say your early days property journey story? Maybe some of the deals you done at your early days. Because the last one of the guests we had, he mentioned something about how he bought property. I don't know if it might be different for you. How he bought property in less than 1 year of coming into this country. It was strange, So I don't know what yours is and something that you can share that will be of people will get to learn from or be inspired by.
Yeah, I wish I bought one when I was less than 1 year in the country.
Yeah.
But I think the first thing was we bought a property where we live, and we say in the context of buying mortgage. But starting from there is the fact that if you can buy one, you don't have to stop in one. You can buy another. And I recall the next property we bought was a very interesting one because it was a motivated seller.
Oh, really? Okay.
Very motivated. But strange enough, this person was doing everything to frustrate the process. In fact, to the extent that the mortgage approval we had expired.
Wow.
Expired. We had to go back to the lender to get another one. But something in me said I should not let it go.
Wow.
Prayerfully in every way, it must not go. Because I saw a very good deal there. Camouflage in it, property not in the best of state. But we got that property eventually. We went back. In fact, interestingly, when we exchanged and completed, we still don't have access to the property.
Wow.
Some people were still living there. But what I want to bring out of it is the fact that it was difficult does not mean you should give up. In fact, the fact that it's difficult means that there is something in it.
Yeah.
If it is not that difficult, and I'm not using that generically, it may be that it may be normal. If it's more difficult and excessively prolonged, there is a tendency that there is something there you are not even seeing yet. It will interest you to know that we bought that property, we exchanged, everything moved on. 3 months after, the property close to us, the next property to us, sold for £50,000 more.
Wow. So
immediately, our property also assumed that value.
Wow. That's good.
And you can imagine what that means.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. It's really inspiring. So let's say, for instance, I want to believe that you rented first before you bought your first
definitely.
Home.
Definitely.
Okay. So because some people, because the last story, I mentioned the last story to you, so it's good to hear that because a lot of people would love to know how it came about, and thanks for sharing that. So, in your own opinion, what do you understand, or what would you say transgenerational wealth is, in your own opinion?
It's a big word, transgenerational wealth. You are talking of wealth that transcend from one generation to another and even beyond.
Good.
And let me take it from this perspective. I would not like to look at transgenerational wealth as something material. I think knowledge is the biggest wealth.
Okay, good.
Knowledge is the biggest wealth. Because come to think of it, even if you have $1 million worth of properties, worth of assets, and you bequeath it to somebody who is not knowledgeable, they will destroy it.
Wow.
They will bring it to their level of knowledge. Which will be, maybe you give somebody 10 properties. If they can only handle one, based on their knowledge, they bring it to the level of one. But if you equip them with knowledge, I mean, I'm a Christian, I can use the biblical example. Abraham was said to be super rich, exceedingly rich, and he only had one child. The other one went. They only had Isaac. But at a point, the Bible said, there was famine in the land, and Isaac wanted to leave the town. Where were all the wealth that General Abraham gave him?
Yeah, valid point. Yeah.
How did he disappear?
Yeah.
Until he had the knowledge to make his own money. So, transgenerational wealth is background on knowledge.
Good.
Because if somebody give it to you, you don't have the knowledge, you will destroy it.
I get that.
So it's a question of knowledge first. When you have the knowledge, then you can make it transgenerational. And what it means is that you must transfer that knowledge from yourself to the generation after you. Very good example. When my son finished his GCSE, immediately he wrote the last paper. I booked a property business course for him. 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. 3 days. And we went there together in central London. We were going there every day together. And we took pictures, did everything. He had his own notes. That is the beginning of transgenerational wealth.
Let me ask, why didn't you're his dad, then why do you still see the need for him to go onto someone else's course?
Nobody is a reservoir of knowledge. Whatever I know, I need to know more. Yeah. So he shouldn't just hear it from me. If we go to the same place, hear it from the same source, he will probably pick things I didn't pick. And because his own mind will work differently, he may pick things we pick together, but analyze it in a different way. Yeah. So today now, for example, there is nothing I want to do that will not call him. And we discuss it. And he will advise me. He will also guide me.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm learning from him.
Oh, really?
What if I did it? Of course. I'm learning a lot from him.
That's amazing.
This is a new generation.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm learning a lot from him.
Yeah.
What if I didn't allow him to have that knowledge?
I know that. That's amazing. It's good. So I'm leading on. You kind of touched on the next thing I wanted to ask you. And I like the fact that you shared about your son, which is really encouraging, and which is the reason why we're here in the first place and recording this. In your opinion, why transgenerational wealth? You know, why not leave your son to fend for himself, or why should other people think of the next generation? Why don't they do it on their own? That's some of the arguments that some people have. You know, I'll just do it for myself, and they should do it for themselves. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, sir.
That is absolutely fine, but they don't need to reinvent the wheel. You have walked a path. Make it available for others to walk in. So, yes, they will do their own bits. They will go ahead and even make more value, add more value to humanity. What is value adding? Is you giving something to somebody to be able to build their own. It's not giving them the fish, teaching them how to fish. You cannot support them to get the net. Then leave them to it. You'll be surprised that you'll be catching fishes that are far bigger than what you have ever caught.
Wow.
So don't just leave them there, add value to them. In knowledge. In knowledge. That is the basic thing. If they know, they will build on whatever they know. For example, you pour everything you know into somebody, 100% of you. They will take 100% of you, or perhaps take 80% of you, go other places, have other knowledge, and add their own to it. Perhaps they add 50% to it. That's 130. That is far above what you know.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's the essence of it. Transgenerational wealth is adding value to people through knowledge. If you teach them, they will run with it. But if you don't teach them, you give them the asset. Have you not heard of people who died and their children start selling the properties or whatever asset they have? Because they don't have what it in them to make it. The knowledge that Abraham gave to Isaac was what Isaac needed to make money when all the money his father gave him finished.
Well finished, yeah, I agree.
So he was able to go and start afresh. And we now talk of God blessing him exceedingly because of the knowledge he was able to trade with.
I appreciate that, sir. Thanks for sharing. I'm sure that everyone is learning a lot from the things you're sharing, and I hope that it's sparking some kind of fire within so that we begin to take action, because it's just one thing to hear all these stuff, sit on YouTube and watch all these kind of videos, but not taking action is where the problem is, and I hope that people are going to be taking action from this. So I'm going to go forward, sir. So there's stocks, there's different kind of businesses, there are all manner of things that people can transfer to the next generation. Why do you think, why property? You know, in your opinion, why property? Why couldn't you take your son through accounting or something else? Why property, if you don't mind me asking, sir? Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. And everybody should understand the areas they have competitive advantage. You can't be master of all. And if you invest in stock, it's fine, but understand what are the risks associated with that. And if you are able to understand the risk, analyze the risk, you'll be able to invest in it accordingly. And you see if it's worth it for you or not. Over time, S&P 500 is doing excellently well. If you have the knowledge, you can invest in that and it will work. And if your strength is in property, invest in that and it will work. But the above all is the knowledge bit. Because if you have the knowledge of how stock work, then you go for it. If you have the knowledge of how property works, you go for it. I know these days, so many people say, oh, everything is property. It's not just property. Because it can fail. And I've seen a lot failed. And the same thing, you can lose all your money in stock. And I've seen a lot. So, knowledge is the basis of it. Knowledge is what removes fear. Knowledge is what empowers you to take action. Knowledge is what triggers you to performance. So, anybody can choose areas of their strength. There are people that are in stock and they are making it. Most of the richest men in the world is all about the value of their company. That is what makes them rich. That's why it goes down today, it goes up tomorrow. It's based on the valuation of their company. That's what it is. But identify your own area of strength. Go for knowledge so that you are not part of the failures.
Oh, thank you for that. We really appreciate that, sir. So, sir, this podcast is tailored to a certain community, to a precise Afro-Caribbean community. Hopefully, other communities can be blessed by what we're sharing here. But having said that, I don't know if you've come across different data that lets you know that the Afro-Caribbean community on the property ladder, they're quite at the bottom there. I think is Indians, population-wise, Indians have larger property ownership, then followed by whites, what they class as whites, and then you can talk about the Afro-Caribbean community. Not in that order. There are more other people, but where we are, it's much better. And Black Africans are lower than the Caribbeans are higher. So having said that, one of the challenges, if you, I'm sure you know, you'd agree with, but also from Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo's book, What's Wrong with Being Black, is disunity amongst the community. So in your own opinion, quickly, how can we foster unity for progress? Because the Indians, I'm sure you'd agree with me, everywhere you get to, I don't know, just like the Nigerians, everywhere you get to, if you don't see Indians here, maybe there might be a problem with that. Even as far as Seychelles, I went to Seychelles and they had a shop there. You know, I just came back from America a few months ago, and I drove all through. Virtually everywhere I was driving through, the filling stations, the hotels, the Indians were there. So I'm sure they're not doing that with living in disunity, you know. So what quick tip can you give to encourage the Black and African brown community to be fostered together and make progress or achieve wealth?
I think thank you for that question. It's quite important because we are not taking full advantage, what we call synergy, full advantage of our community. We are not. And I think two things are very important here. And the first one being trust. How trustworthy are people? And of course, that's not limited to the Black community or the Afro-Caribbean community. It's a function of humanity as a whole. But if it becomes more pronounced, you become cautious. And I can tell you, I've had a few regrets within the community that we are in, where people really mess a few things up badly. And that should not be a stop. But one thing I also believe is our readiness to learn. I think most of our people, including myself, and when I say our people, all of us, the tendency to want to learn is very marginal. And when I'm talking of learning, it's not just sitting down and learning. Spending your resources to acquire knowledge. Many of our people will step back when it comes to financial commitment to acquire knowledge. And knowledge is not cheap. That is the truth. They say if you think education is expensive, go to it for ignorance and see how far. If you think the shovel is too expensive, dig with your hand and see how far you go. How many people are ready to pay for quality education to be able to move forward?
I agree.
To become a doctor or whatever, to work in the medical sciences, to become you know how many years you spend in school just to build one career. Now you want to build a business. You are not ready to invest. You have to go and pay the price. And everybody pay the price. One of our leaders says either you pay the price of regret or the price of discipline.
Yeah.
There is a price for whatever you want. And many of our people are not ready to pay the price. For example, people are ready to spend 50,000 for marriage ceremony, 100,000, but not 30 pounds to attend a seminar on marriage. They say, what would they teach us? That's why you are struggling every day. That's why you are fighting and abusing each other. And that's how it works in every facet of life. You must invest in it for you to make a success of it.
I agree.
If you don't, and that is the foundation of our problem.
I agree.
People are not, their trust issue and lack of motivation for investment. When it comes to financial commitment to invest in education, in knowledge, people step back. And that's why we are back.
I agree with you, sir. I understand the issue. Like you talked about trust, I think is a fundamental thing, like you said, across different race or communities, because I used to tell my wife that even trust is earned. You don't buy it in the market. You know, I tell people as well. So I agree with you. Then in addition to what you said as well on our people's being susceptible
Lay
to
back on
wanting to
acquisition.
invest into it. Yeah, I agree with you because like I mentioned to you, or I must have mentioned, I do what they call rent-to-rent, and also a property manager and a property investor. So I also find that people can come to my house and sit down for 2 hours and getting knowledge in some, and they end up not doing anything with it because there's no price that was paid to it. So some people come and they meet me in church, and you can talk for a long time, and they don't take no single action, you know. But I've noticed that when they don't pay attention. So then I just remembered it because of what you said. Now, if I were to tell them, I'm going to charge you for an hour to have this same conversation with them, how many of them, like you pointed, would be willing to pay that money and listen? They'll be like, oh, you mean that you're charging me now? Eh? You're charging me. You know, I said to someone, I told him, I said, I will. This is how I put it, so he doesn't feel angry. I said to him, I'm going to give you this knowledge, but if you don't take action, I'll send you an invoice. Okay. I'll send you an invoice because you did not make good use of all these things that I've spent thousands of pounds to get this knowledge, and it's working. This is the only way, so I will not fight. You understand? This is the only way. But thank you for sharing that, and I really appreciate it. So I would like to say, sir, a lot of people will be wondering, you talked about transition, we talked about property, but they'll be wondering, how do I go about this? In your own opinion, what is a quick or low-hanging fruit way that people can start investing? Because one thing is buying a property where you live. Another thing is having what Robert Kiyosaki would call income-generating assets. So what, in your own opinion, in the UK-wise, which I think is applicable to America or some Western countries or anywhere, would you say is a low-hanging strategy that families can begin to invest into and hoping to build wealth for the next generation, please?
Now, I think maybe the starting point will be, if you have one stream of income, you are a risk to yourself. So the need for you to understand additional streams of income. Because the question you should ask yourself, among others, is if your salary stops today, if you're a salary earner, or your main source of income stops today, how far can you go?
Spot on, yeah.
And if you are able to answer that question with sincerity to yourself, you will identify what your true worth is. So if you can only survive for 3 months and still live the life you are living before that income stops, you're only worth 3 months. And if you can do it for 1 year, you only worth. And if next week everything starts collapsing, then you are worth less than 1 week. So it is that will drive the need for you to move forward, to think of additional income. And that will drive you to say, what are the opportunities that are open? I used to say this, we are in the laziest generation of all. Because virtually everything is being made lazy for us. Virtually everything. Even to join a bus now, you sit in the corner of your house, you go on the app, it tells you when your bus is coming. So you don't waste time at all.
I agree.
Look for things that will make people more lazy, so to say. And they will buy it. Look for how you can add value to somebody. They will pay for that value. We are here today now speaking and talking. There are a lot of people that will hear this and take no action. But there are a few people, and I tell you, it will be a few that will hear it and take action. I've said this many times. We were in a gathering and I said, I read a book which significantly impacted my life. And they said, what book was that? And I mentioned it. I said, but I can assure you, less than 5% of you will touch that book. Less than 5%. And that is always the truth. That is always the truth. See, the fundamental of all is still knowledge. Is still knowledge. So identify first that living on one stream of income makes you a risk to yourself, a risk to your family, a risk to generation after you. Then decide in yourself, what else can I do? Everybody has 24 hours. You can do something special. You can do something extra. You don't have to sleep for 12 hours in a day. You can take 2 hours out of that time and look how you can add value to people. Once you add value, you'll be paid for it. You'll be paid for it. Identify area of your strength. Whatever gives you competitive advantage over others can be monetized. And people will pay for it. So at the end of the day, it may be property that interests you. Identify how it works. How does it work? Get knowledge. Because many people think property is about having money. Once you're a property, you're a millionaire, you have all the money. It's not just about money. Do you know that knowledge is superior to money? Knowledge will bring money. Money will bring knowledge if only you apply it correctly. That's why the Bible says money has wings, it flies. But knowledge doesn't fly. You know it, irrespective of how you acquire it.
Okay. Thanks for that, sir. In addition to what you shared, let's say someone now, because I want to believe that one, at least, if Benny, what's it called? Not Rehad Bunke, Frank, the renowned evangelist, that was 90-something years, I forgot his name. Okay. Very in America, I still remember his name, Billy Graham.
Okay.
He would always say, even if it's one person, you understand? I want to believe that one person will take action. So say they want to take action on property-wise, what low-hanging property investment strategy do you think that a family should switch onto? Want to assume that they've bought their first property. Okay. What do you think? What would you advise quickly that they're going to next towards building the next wealth for the next generation?
So traditionally, the next thing is to do buy-to-let.
Okay.
But I will not say go and do buy-to-let or go and do HMO, go and do rent-to-rent, go and do this, go and find flip, go and do this. Every other thing is available for you. But go and learn first. It is when you understand how they all work, you see the one that is the best strategy for you. Okay. Because each and every of these strategies come with their own risk. Buy-to-let in the UK, for example, you have the Renters Reform Bill coming up. You must be very conversant with regulations.
Yes. Okay. Good.
You must understand the relation between landlord and tenant. All these things will guide your knowledge to know that, okay, and you know that when you bought your first property, 10%, now you are buying another one, it's 25% deposit. Oh, do I have that kind of money? If I don't have that kind of money, how can I still get into property? Because you don't need to be the owner to be the controller. There are other strategies that will give you property without you owning the property. Rent to rent is a typical example.
Yeah.
So you can go and rent and control it as if it's yours and manage it accordingly. So if you understand what is attached to each of the models, you can be able to understand where you can start from. You don't need to have money to be able to study. You just need wisdom and knowledge.
I think if those listening, I think one of the key things, if you've not said anything here today, is knowledge.
It's
because
fundamental.
I want to see that. I want to believe that you've given them the tips, but they need the knowledge to be able to take the right action without making the huge mistake like you mentioned. Thank you very much for that, sir. So one thing that I noticed that, like you've kind of touched a little bit about it, is that won't transferring this wealth to the next generation breed a lazy generation, children that are spoiled or become irresponsible or become nuisance to society? I know you kind of touched it, but you can buttress a little bit, sir. If you don't, wouldn't that be the issue? That's what some people are wondering. Maybe haven't seen their children, or maybe they are a bit skeptical. No, I don't want this kind of stuff. Those that have that kind of fear, or those are on the fence, what would you say, sir?
Yeah, the truth is, it will make them lazy. It will make them spoiled, as long as they don't have the knowledge to maintain it.
Good. I appreciate that.
Because the truth is, if you have a young person who is motivated, who is knowledgeable, whatever asset the parents is transferring to them will not command value as much as what they have. Let's put it this way. The story was told of a man. I just want to use that as an example. A very wealthy man who bought a brand new car for his teenager, 17, 18 years. And the teenager is always accidenting this car, messing it up and so on. So his friend, the dad's friend, said, withdraw that car from him. Withdraw it. So he withdrew it. And this boy has to work to buy his own car, a second-hand used car. Wow. He was treating it like an angel. He cleans it, not a scratch in 1 year. Because he got that one free. But this time around, he's getting it on the basis of his own inputs. So what you work for, you value it.
I agree with you.
So the best way you can bequeath this to them, and they will not waste it, let them be knowledgeable. Let them be equipped before you give it to them. It's like giving a car to somebody without driving license.
I get that.
You are setting them up for failure.
I agree.
They will have accident. But make sure they have acquired the knowledge, they have the driving license, then give them the car. What you give them will not even matter. They will buy better and bigger cars.
I agree. Just in addition to what you pointed, this is just a side topic, but I'm sure you relate to what I want to say. Just to add to what you just shared, sir. Now, because you mentioned the man that bought a brand new car for his son, and he didn't have value for it. But when the son bought his own, he put so much value to it. And since we're talking about property and tenants, you mentioned tenants. I just remember I went to view a property somewhere in close to in Darlington, sorry to be precise, and the property was left in a huge mess. So, and it just reminds me that, and in case there's anyone here watching, you don't have to wait till you own a property to take care of that property or to give value to it. I'm sure you might relate to me, sir, your landlord.
100%.
So just to encourage people, because a lot of issues you have with tenants and landlords people don't have respect for another person's property. But I don't know, I might be wrong, but I would love to see how those people's property will be when they now own it, because sometimes, it's not in all cases, sometimes when you don't know how to take care of somebody else's own, you might not know how to take care of your own. So thank you for that. I just remember this, just a bite of on the share. So sir, I really appreciate everything you shared so far. Just to wrap up, is there anything else that maybe we might have missed out or so related to the topic that you might want to share quickly before we just end it?
I think we've touched on so many of the things, but more importantly is talk is cheap. If anyone listening to this, don't just listen. Impartation is evidenced by action. For you to know that it has added value to you is by taking action. Good. Take an action today. And every journey, no matter how long, starts with one step. So make sure that this will trigger you to action. Don't wait until you have money. If you wait, you will waste. You don't wait to go into property. Like somebody said, don't wait to buy property and wait. That's how it should be. So this has been made and recorded because of you, somebody out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Let it count.
Amen.
Let it speak.
Amen. That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Really appreciate. How can, I don't know if you're a social media kind of person, how can people find you? Because I'm sure a lot of people are itching, looking at the comment section to see if they can get your name and follow you up or learn more from you, sir.
Yeah. Knowledge is available, and we are all learning every day. I think we are on Facebook, Rising Stone Solutions. You can find that on Facebook.
Okay, that's good.
And you can private chat me and so on.
That's good.
And we can take it from there.
Yeah, I would also put that in the comment section so people can look that up. So thank you very much, sir, for coming. I know you're a very busy man and able to squeeze your time to come here. And I'm sure this is a great seed that a lot of generations, yet uncommon, if Jesus Christ tarries, will be blessed by watching this video. It could be 10 years from now, it could be any time from now. Yeah. It's amazing what social media and technology do these days. So just to wrap up, and I'm sure everyone is blessed by what we've done, that what has been shared by Mr. Bayo today, is that one of the challenges that families face is because there's no plan for, proper plan for, to, like he's mentioned, to be in wealth, or also to talk more of passing on to next generation. So I believe that if from the things you've learned, if you, like you've mentioned, taking action would go a long way, So just to wrap up, the quotes from a very profound and influential king by name Solomon in the Bible. It says, "By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding is established." So I just want to encourage each and every one of us, like he's mentioned, go for knowledge, go for wisdom, go for understanding, so that you can now know what strategy as a family to take based on your own needs or their own situation or where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, and we trust that you'll be a blessing to each other. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
My pleasure.
I can't say thank you enough. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
All the
Thank
best.
you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys in the next one. All the best. Stay knitted. Bye-bye.